How's it going? We planned to have a really nice Italian meal today. We're going to have some spaghetti and meat sauce, and along with that I wanted to make a new artisan bread, one I've never tried before, and have that to go along with it. We weren't really thinking when we planned the meal that we'd be watching the UEFA Championships with England versus Italy, where England fans will be pulling for the Lions, but eating Italian food while we're watching it. So okay, in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and make this tomato, basil, mozzarella, no-knead bread. Seems like it's going to be pretty easy, but this is my first time trying it, so we'll see how it turns out. The ingredients for this include 1/3 cup of sun-dried tomatoes. Now, they recommend sun-dried tomatoes not preserved in olive oil. My store didn't have anything other than that, so I took the 1/3 of a cup of tomatoes, and I'm going to just pat it down and squeeze out the oil into this these paper towels, and we'll get as much off as we can, but you know, it's going to be what it is. So 1/3 cup of sun-dried tomatoes, 3 cups of all-purpose flour. Now I'm making bread. I prefer to use bread flour, so we'll be using bread flour. 2 teaspoons of instant yeast, 1/2 tablespoon of salt, 1/2 tablespoon of dried basil, 1 and 1/2 cups of warm water, 1 tablespoon of tomato paste, and 4 ounces of shredded mozzarella, optional. Well, if you know anything about me, you know that cheese is never an option, so we will be putting cheese in here. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is chop the sun-dried tomatoes into smaller pieces. Now the ones I bought were already chopped, so that's good. And we're going to press these out and get the oil out. So our first step is to combine the flour, yeast, salt, dried basil, and chopped tomatoes, and stir until they're evenly combined. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, 2 teaspoons of yeast, 1/2 tablespoon of salt, 1/2 tablespoon of basil, and the tomatoes. Now I'm just going to use a fork to stir this up. I think with the tomatoes the whisk is going to be problematic. So we're just going to stir this all together, and then we'll get ready for the next part. Alright, all nicely stirred. The next step is we dissolve a tablespoon of tomato paste into some 1.5 cups of warm water. And then we pour the tomato and water mixture into the flour mixture and stir until a sticky ball of dough forms. You may need to add slightly more or less water to achieve the correct consistency. What that tells me is not to pour all the water in right away, because we need to check it and see how it turns out, because of the part where it said or less. You can always add more water, you can't take water out. So we're going to pour about a cup in, stir it in, and then stir in a little bit more at a time as we need to moisten it up some more. Alright, let's get the water in. One of the things we missed on the first step of this is, before we put the water in, we need to go ahead and combine the shredded mozzarella into the flour mixture. So we're going to put in 4 ounces of mozzarella into the flour before we put the water in. This is an 8-ounce bag, so I'm using about half of it. Alright, let's stir that in. Alright, now the water. We're going to add about a cup, like I said. And we're just going to mix it up. Smells very tomatoey. Okay, so we clearly need more. Add about half of what's left. Okay, still need the rest. We're going to put the rest in. And we're just going to mix this really well for just a period of time. We're not really kneading it, we're just making sure it's well mixed. Okay, so there should be no flour left on the bottom. And the dough should be moist, but not wet or glistening. I'm going to use my hand on this a little bit because I don't think it's mixing completely. Alright, it's feeling pretty good. Alright, now our next step is, after we get all the dough off our fingers, is we need to let this rise for an hour. We're going to cover it with a little piece of plastic wrap and let it rise. Alright, so let me cover that up and then I guess we'll see you back here in an hour. Alright, we'll see you back here in an hour. Alright, it's been rising for an hour. It looks pretty good. The next step on this is we're to sprinkle it liberally with flour, turn it out onto a floured surface, and knead it only a little bit. You know, just enough to smooth it out. We're going to create a dough ball out of it, put it on some parchment, and have it rise again. So, let's go ahead and get some flour on this and turn it out. Get it on the parchment. Alright, there we go. A little bit of parchment. Nice dough ball. Alright, we'll cover this up and be back in 30 minutes and get ready to put this in the oven. In the meantime, what we're going to do is preheat the oven to 425 degrees and put our Dutch oven in there and get that all hot before we drop the bread in. So let's get this covered, get the oven started, and the next thing on our agenda is baking. Alright, it's been rising another 30 minutes. Let's go ahead and get it in the Dutch oven. We're going to let it cook for 30 minutes. Then we'll remove the lid and let it cook for another 20 minutes. Alright, it's been 30 minutes. Let's go ahead and take the lid off, and we'll cook it another 20 minutes to get the top browned. And then it'll be time to take it out and see how it turns out. I'm super excited. Alright. Oh, it looks amazing. Okay, 20 minutes. Alright, time's up. Let's go ahead and get it out and set it on the cooling rack, and hopefully we will, I don't know, like what we have. We'll see in just a minute. Look at that. Alright, we're going to get it out on the cooling rack. It looks amazing. Look at that. Just cut it. It's crusty, fluffy on the inside. Let's get it to the table and serve it. Alright, as I was serving the food, I missed England's first score. So it's England 1-0 right now. But our focus is the food. We are excited and hungry. Look. Spaghetti. And bread. Get some bread. Oh, I guess olives.
Ooh, do we think it? Can I just take a big old chunk?
Yeah,
of
take
this?
that chunk.
Oh wait, look at that.
I know. It's crazy, right?
I'm not really taking this whole thing. I'm doing this.
That's okay.
In fact, I'm just doing this so it'll...
Just took the crust.
Oh, that's fine. It's gonna be hot. Mmm. Oh my god. Oh my god, so delicious.
I'm really, really excited.
Doesn't need butter, doesn't need olive oil.
Nice.
My humble opinion.
All right, let me get some. And by some, I mean bread. It's already minded. All right, look at that. Steaming hot. Smells amazing. She's right. The innards are really super moist and delicious, and the crust is crusty.
It almost has a pizza taste to it. You know what I'm talking about?
It does. It tastes like a pizza unto itself.
Delish.
All right, well, we're going to go finish watching the game. Go Lions. And we're going to enjoy our food. I guess we'll see you around next time. Bye now. Say bye.
Oh, bye. I'm busy eating already.
Bye.